Hi, my name is Andy. I am the owner of Overkill Customs. I'm also the lead tech. Here at Overkill, we do a lot of standard installs, but we also like to push the envelope and make some cool stuff. So to be a little creative, I decided that I wanted to put a Solo X on the back of the front wall. Problem is, the recone kit is about 8 inches deep and I don't really want to make my wall stick out that far. So we decided to 3D print. So the problem with that is, an 18 is bigger than our printer. So we've sliced it and made it into bite-sized chunks. You see we got 4 pieces here. We're gonna have to glue them all together. We're gonna do that here in a second. I've already made the Solo X logo here, blank, kicker, blank. I did decide to mix this up a little bit and I made this out of clear acrylic. Reason for that, rather than do the ABS, if I make it out of acrylic, I could put lights in it. The plan is to put a little light through here the whole way. That way it lights up. This has been etched and so has the Solo X logo. So when it lights up, it should light everything really smoothly. All right, so right now we've got 4 of these pieces. So the 4 corners of this. The other issue we're gonna have is this little ear. Now, instead of splitting on the side and just gonna be obvious, we split it up and then just happy accident makes it a little better. But we'll glue these on later. That way we make sure we got a good solid bond. But first, we're gonna put them to the side. This board here, well, it's acrylic, is gonna be my backer. That way I have something to set this to. And then I'll glue all these to that. And then finally, we have our Solo X dust cap that we'll glue right in the center and make sure it's all set. And then put some weight on it and let it dry overnight. The first thing we're gonna do is gonna mix up some epoxy. It's just regular plastic epoxy. This gives me 15 minutes. As much as I like to do quicker, I know I'm gonna need this time. It's going to apply some to the bottom of this guy here. Move on to the next one. We'll face these down, aligning them to the edge. The only reason why I chose this particular epoxy because it was the one they had in stock that actually dried black rather than a clear or translucent yellow, which in case there is a little, let's call it splash damage, it's less obvious. I'm just gonna touch the corner of this just to be as perfect as possible. Deep there. I'm gonna go. Let's dab it down here instead this time. I'm afraid that my gloves may have accidentally got this epoxy on it. And if it did, I don't want to spend another 8 hours printing one piece. My luck would be I wouldn't catch it, and then I have to print the entire thing. And this is about a 30-hour print. So I don't want to have to do that again. Sometimes when I do this, I'll use bodied, like semi-rigid plastic adhesive. But right now, all the wood for the sub box is is stacked right against it. And I don't feel like moving 26 sheets of wood just to get down to where this epoxy's at. So, do this here. A little more. And some up here for the dust cap. Here too. And that. Dot here at the end between these two. All right, now whatever left gets served through the center. And since I have it on my fingers, I'm just going to go ahead and take my gloves off. So I do not want to risk messing this up. Not the end of the world, but it would definitely be a bad day. Just using this bottom piece of acrylic as my guide to make the spacer, not the spacer, to aim it correctly. And I cannot, for the life of me, keep it square. There it goes. If it's off, it's not really that big of a deal because I can always take the whole completed thing to the router and round it down. But I really like to not have to do that. A semi-rigid plastic thing is cool because you have a little injection gun. So you shoot it and then stop, and then it doesn't go anymore. So it mixes it for you, does everything. You just have to put in the stuff yourself. So one last time, we're going to put the cap in. Kind of wiggle it, make sure it's all got the squish going. It looks like I have a tiny, tiny, tiny dot of glue here, but that's why I use black. And we need a weight just to make sure it sets. Okay, we just pulled the weight off this, so it all became one solid unit. Now we're gonna start building the ring around the outside. If this was a smaller unit or my printer was larger, I would just print everything at once, which would have made it way simpler. But this is a very large print. This is like 18 inches to here, to over here. So it had to be done in several shots. Should not hold that piece. So what I'm doing here, we've made the corners, and what we're gonna do, we're going to glue them on the side. But I don't want it to be up or down too far. So what I'll do first, I have a little template, not really a template, just a piece that holds the bottom of this when I go to put this in place. All right, it's just, that way when I set this on here, it'll sit flat. Get my handy dandy super glue that we all know I love. Try to be a little sparing because I don't want it to ooze up top. Not looking forward to trying to do another 30-hour print. All right. Liking how that sits. Go with some accelerator. Now hopefully I didn't accidentally glue the brace to it, which I did. So that's why I didn't use a solid piece to use. This way the piece I have is disposable. Okay, right there. Pop them off once this glue is dry, which is just about there. Yep, there you go. That little dot of glue right there held that. So I'm not worried about this staying secure. I'm gonna hit with some accelerator on the bottom since it couldn't actually get to that. All right, now we got one corner. 3 more left. Take that off. And that's how it's supposed to do. It's supposed to come right off. First time I got a little excessive. All right, so now I'll stand back and do them all four. But we got all four corners in this ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and fill in a little extra glue on the sides. And after that, I'm going to come back and put some lights in this. Now that I've got the back end all glued down, I'm getting ready to put some lights on. Just heads up, if you decide to do something like this in the future by yourself, number one, put an indexing mark so which way you know is up, because on this logo, this looks cool, but if you messed up and it's sideways, it's just not gonna do the same effect. Now, good thing this is up or down either way. So I went ahead and made a little index mark pointing this way up. Another thing, when you're putting in the extra glue, if you find the gap's a little too big, instead of just keep layering glue on, you can use baking soda. It helps to activate it. It also does a good gap filler, and it's cheap. You put it in a little squirt bottle, it just kind of puffs out real easy. What I'm going to do now is install these LED lights around the perimeter. But before I do that, I'm going to use a little adhesion promoter. This is brand new plastic, but it never hurts to promote the adhesion on these, because you never know what's going to happen. And this is going to be right against our base wall, so anything I can do to help this thing survive, the better. And you see here, this black is the residue that's coming off from the 3D printer. Big thing is to seal those back up, because it will evaporate, and that stuff costs like $60 for a cup. So it's not cheap. Just pressing it right against the bottom of this light. Always makes me feel sad when I have to cut off and throw LEDs away, but that's what they're designed for. Now on these strips, these little copper lines, those are little solder points. But basically, you just know you cut anywhere there, you're safe. If you cut in here, you can mess some lights up. Won't be permanent, but it does some silly stuff. When you're cutting them the length, just cut a designated area like here. You get your best results that way. And I can cut with I'm going to use some snips here. You can use scissors. They don't take a lot to cut through. It's just a thin piece of copper. The reason why I chose where this is going to join is on the truck, this is straight up on the roof. So on the roof, if there's a small black spot, you're not going to notice. So this, you can try to reuse this and you can solder back to those tips, but it's not really worth it. I've not had much success with it. Throw it away, grab another one. But once again, I'm gonna go down and make sure this is pressed very firmly around the whole strip. Awesome. Yeah, so my cord's coming out the top. And a little bit of light gap here, you're probably not even gonna notice, but if I got really concerned about it, I'd angle it past this, not a big deal. But if there is a light gap, that's straight up, so I don't think anyone's gonna notice of everything that's on here. All right, now I've moved over here just because I wanna see what this looks like. So here's a ring that I've made. So this is a acrylic ring that's 1/2 inch thick of clear. This is 1/4 inch of clear that was painted on the backside. When we did that is so that you can see the Solo X logo here, then the Kicker logo up here, and the light, in theory, will go through here and glow this whole ring and send light through it. Let's test it out. This is how it'll sit, like so. Let's go ahead and put some power to this. Cool. when it's on the wall, side profile, this is kind of what you're going to see. So it flips colors to there, and here's the front. How about that? I will put a couple bolts through here. These are actually going to secure it. These side ones here are probably just going to be aesthetic, but it does look pretty cool. I will say for my first attempt making a light up subwoofer, I'm very happy. If you like what you see, reach out. Our phone number is 615-462-6074. We are located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We can build anything for you if you're local. If you just like watching it, hey, we're happy to have you.